What is going on, guys? I'm excited to talk about how you can get your new or your next clients three different ways. We're going to talk about demobots, newsfeed, and cold outreach, and how these three different ways can actually get you clients in a kind of not so obvious way. So let me share my screen. And guys, if you guys want to try out the Agency Accelerator for $1, which basically is going to give you access to our software sales system. It's a series of software tools and trainings to help you guys get your next client. Just drop an emoji and I'll follow up and get that to you as well. Let's hop in. And guys, if you are catching this on the replay, let me know. Just let me know if you're on the replay squad, right? Just give me a hashtag. What is it? What do most people do? Hashtag replay. We can just stick with that, right? Hashtag replay. Let me know. And then let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know where the Millennial Skills community is tuning in from, just because we are building this, and our goal as a community is to, and as a company or whatever we are, is to help 1,000 business owners and 1,000 digital marketers, right, build the business and the life that they love. And we're going to do that through helping them build their agency right now. So Larissa, what's up? Coop, what's going on? We're going to talk about demobots. We're going to talk about newsfeed, and we're going to talk about cold outreach. And we're going to talk about how this can actually be easy ways. And for me, yesterday, someone asked me, Hector, how come you don't talk about like organic marketing, or I don't talk about SEO, or I don't talk about, I want to say like these other methods of, getting clients, and inbound marketing is something that a lot of people have excuses with, right? And there's a lot of reasons why a lot of people won't actually do inbound marketing, right? And there's a lot of reasons why people won't do a ton of Facebook Lives, or they won't be willing to build a community, or they won't be willing to write a blog every day, or to start a vlog, or to start a Twitch channel, or to grow an Instagram, right? It's really, really hard. And so what I want to do is give you the strategies that you can today go out there and utilize to be able to get your next client. So Coop, what's going on? Springfield, Missouri. I love Coop was actually there at the very beginning of the Millennial Skills community. She was there at the dawn. I believe she was one of the first people to ever join our accelerator program, and it's been awesome to see her journey and her path. And if you guys want to learn how to utilize crypto, right? We're gonna say utilize cryptocurrency as a way to grow and build your wealth. Coop is someone that you need to follow. So Coop, throw your shit down and let them know where to find it. Larissa, what's going on from Costa Rica? Guys, if you guys are tuning in, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. We're talking about demobots, how you can use the newsfeed. Yes, the newsfeed. How about that? How awesome is that? That the newsfeed is now a prospecting tool. I'm going to talk about that. That's actually a really cool hook. Or like a really cool curiosity tool. If you guys want to learn about how you can use the newsfeed as a way to get clients, comment, and new NF, right? Something like that, because I'm curious if that's something that you guys would be interested in. And then cold outreach. And I've talked for days about cold outreach. I've talked a ton about LinkedIn. I've talked a ton about, LinkedIn and cold emailing and digital door knocking. So we'll talk about some of that stuff as well. Let me get this shared to a couple of different places. So we're going to talk about how to get your next clients for free, right? It's great about all of these tools don't require any investment. I think that there's a lot of people who think, I need to create, I need to run ads, or I need to do all these things in order to get clients, and it's really just not the truth. So we're going to show you how you can use demobots. We're going to show you how you can use the newsfeed, and how you can do cold outreach as well. So let me post that out there, and we're good. What up, John? John is our lead developer and all of this stuff. And John's the one who really is the mastermind behind our software sales system. And what's great about it is the reason I'm sharing these things, is because if you guys want to try out our Agency Accelerator, which is a series of 5 tools that you can use for a week, you can try it out for $1, right? What we've done is we've been able to create and put together a series of tools that you can utilize to accelerate your agency so you don't have to manually be doing this. I'm going to talk about how you guys can manually go out and do this today, or you guys can accelerate it, right, and have softwares do all this stuff for you as well. So let's dive in. I'm kind of filibustering, but let's keep going. So the first thing is demobots. I've talked a little bit about this, and a lot of people understand this. And there are kind of two ways to think about demobots, right? And I think that both are very, very valid. I started out coming from a place where demobots, early on in the process, people were blown away, and people were actually, they really, I don't know how else to say it, they were blown away by their, by just basic demobots. You integrated a couple, a web view, you integrated a couple of websites, you threw a couple of buttons on there, some pictures, and people were blown away. And that is still the truth, right? That definitely is still the truth with a lot of industries and a lot of niches. But now it's increasingly more important for you to be able to highlight and show that not only can your bots just deliver basic information and just be, some sort of link sender, right? But that your bots can actually be a functional, not only a functional, but actually an effective communication tool, right? And I think that that's, and what I mean by that is that it should be, you should look to start, creating some higher level bots, right? But here's what you can do. Within your bot, the reason that you have a demo bot is because first off, it can show them exactly what it's going to be like and what they're going to experience as their customer. When you're pitching Facebook ads, it's not always the easiest to convey what it's going to be like for the client or for the customer, for the user, for the lead, when they're standing in line at Starbucks and they're scrolling through their feed, and then all of a sudden they see this ad. Like, it's really hard to replicate that process. However, with chatbots and with messenger marketing, it's conversational marketing. So they actually get to experience what it's going to be like on the other side of that exchange, of that communication. And that's really, really important for people and clients to understand, right? And this is the best thing that I can say is just drop your demo link everywhere, right? In your LinkedIn, in your cold emails, like have your demo bot in your profile funnel, have your demo bot in your email signature. Like literally everywhere you can get your demo bot like out there, that's your new link that you want to be driving, right? So I think that number one is just like the biggest thing that I can share with you is just get your link out there, because when people click it, yes, they will see how you can what the engagement and the interaction is going to be like for their customer. That's huge for them. But for you, you can go in there and you can see, oh, someone subscribed, someone was interested. Who is this person? Let me click on their profile. Oh, they work here. Oh, they're on my LinkedIn. The great thing about getting demo bot, is that who these people are. I think this is an understated benefit of, I burned my mouth yesterday, guys, on a deep fried Oreo. It was delicious, but I think I burned my lips and the top of my mouth, and I'm paying for it now. I ate it way too fast. It was way too good. And why I decided to tell you that is zero clue. But I think this is a big thing that demo bots are not people don't talk about that in messenger marketing, that especially in the B2B space, is that when you get someone to subscribe, when you get someone to try out your demo bot, they're a subscriber. Yes, that's great. But then you also get all of their info. You get their time zone, you get their location, you get automatically their name and their last name. Like I always love people go, they go when they're talking about like the cons of messenger marketing. They're like, you don't own anything, right? You don't own their there's like with an email address, they're like, at least you own the email address. And I think about that, and it's like, I understand that, but to think that you own anything of anybody's is weird. You don't own their email address. It's their fucking email address. They can go in and they can choose to never log into that email address again. They can choose to get a new email address. right? So it's very, very easy for them to, you say you own it. Whereas on Facebook Messenger, when they subscribe, you get their name. That's a thing that I think is missed, that I really love about Facebook, is that it really creates a lot of transparency, but it also creates a lot of opportunity to create real connections. Because there was one time where I was using the next the next tool, which I'll talk about, which is the newsfeed. And anytime I see someone running a messenger ad, I always click on it. And that's actually helped us create pitches and create sales conversations just with a few simple, clicks of a button. But anyways, I sent them, I clicked on their ad, and I was like, hey, do you know that you're actually you're telling people to message you? And they're like, oh my goodness, we had no idea. And we're like, yeah, we actually help people personalize and make these responses interactive without the business have to individually responding to them. And if you want to see how it works, here's how it works. Here's a link that'll show you how it works. And I just dropped my demo bot, right? I dropped it in right there, and boom, right? It was I looked the next day, and she was like, oh my goodness, thank you. And then I saw, the page said that, and then I only said it in that voice because I saw a woman subscribed, and I got her name, her first name, last name. I got where she lived. Was her Facebook profile that was subscribing. So realize that it creates a lot of opportunity for now you to go, oh, okay, let me add that person on LinkedIn. Let me go get their email address. Let me follow up with them. Let me call them. This is someone who is a hot prospect that I can follow up with. So let's see if we got any questions here. So John says, and be smart, subscribe to Discovery. That's a great tool. That's something big that I could definitely utilize more as well. So John is still on. Larissa, I think, is still on. Who else is still out there? Vito, I think, is still on. Guys, if you guys are catching any of this live, let me know. And the likes and the loves always help. If you guys ever got any value from me, you guys can definitely pay me back with some likes and some loves here on this Millennial Skills page, because we're trying to build this up. And our goal, remember guys, is to help 1,000 digital marketers build the business and the life of their dreams. And we're going to help them do that through software sales systems. And really, it's the combination right now of 5 softwares and a series and a methods of trainings that you put together with them, right? And so like people always ask about, okay, so what do we do after that? Well, these demo bots are just one little snippet of an overall strategy that I teach to our accelerator members. And when you actually subscribe to the, when you actually are a member of our software sales system, you actually are going to get access to all of these trainings on how to actually implement them. So that not only will you be able to get a tool that can go out and get all of the emails for these people, but that you also have the scripts on what to actually say to them. So Colin, what's going on? Maria, what's going on? John is always on. I love it. Guys, I appreciate the likes and the loves. Just anyways, like I said, the engagement always helps. Let's talk about the newsfeed though specifically, because what Facebook did recently is they gave the option, a few months ago I saw it, I don't know, 5-6 months ago, they gave the option to add a message button as as an option for their post, right? And so what that means is normally it would just look like a normal Facebook post, right? And it would just be like, hey, like, comment, or share. However, Facebook was like, we gotta push people to the messenger. So how can we do that? Let's make it easy for businesses to instead of making them click a link, let's make it easy for them to go straight to messenger. Just like a comment to messenger ad, you can actually a click to messenger ad. You can actually do that on a normal post now. Well, what I would assume has happened is that those people who have added that button, when they boost it, now those things are showing up in my feed. And it's a post, right? But then it looks like a normal Facebook post. It's like, hey guys, like our page, comment, and whatever. It's like a normal post, but it actually is like a link. And when I click it, it looks like a link ad. And when I click it, it goes straight to their chatbot or their lack thereof. It goes straight to the conversation with their Facebook page. And so what I do is whenever I see that, right, if I'm ever just scrolling through and I'm trying desperately to cut back on just my time on just browsing on Facebook. So I try not to do it as much, and specifically because I don't handle the sales in our agency. But if I were, and I were just on Facebook, and even when I do, every time I see it, send that message button, I always look for one, right? Like it would be too hard to look, but like look, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And just message them. And here's what I found, okay? The first thing to do is just to message them, right? Just to see who responds. And the first thing that I like to do is I just like to ask them, do you know that you're telling people to message this page, right? Like I always like to ask, do you know that your ad is telling people to message people? And a lot of times people are like, oh my goodness, I had no idea. Or, oh no, I just realized that. That's not best when they go, oh my goodness, I just realized that because I'm getting all these messages, right? So a lot of times you're informing people of it, right? So it's helping people in a time of need. What's great about this, I'm just realizing this now, is like these people are in a time of urgency where they're like, oh shit, we're spending money on all these ads and we don't have any sort of, we're like over here handling these responses ourselves. Now, if you guys want to know the big mistake I made when I did this, give me some more likes and loves, okay? Because I want to share with you a big mistake that I made, and it was even something that I was telling my accelerator members. Like I was like, hey, do this, and I want to tell you, like, I'm having, because I'm continuing to trial and error. I'm continuing to message people, and I'm trying to figure out what works. I've realized that was actually a mistake. So I'm not going to tell you what I was telling people to do, because that's not going to give you any help. But if you, I'm gonna tease this out a little bit. Okay, let's give some likes and loves, and so I'm gonna tease this out because I think this is really valuable. I think this will help a lot of people that are marketing messenger bot services. I think this is really really important. So let's keep going and let's talk about it. I just had a client who's like, oh, we're excited. We're so excited about getting our chatbot set up. Like, and they're all frantic because they're excited and we're excited, but we have some work to do on the client end for sure. So if you guys want to be on the Millennial Skills team, hit me up. Let me know. So that's the news feed, right? Is that clear? Like, does that make sense? Let me hop in. Like, hey, Brenny, thanks for hopping on. Bob, Beth, Denny, Robert, Ty, I appreciate you guys hopping on. If that makes sense, let me know, okay? Give me like a thumbs up emoji or something like that if that makes sense, because I feel like that could be very, very clear. But I didn't talk about how to actually do it, did I? I didn't even give away the answer. See that? That's good about teasing. That's good about me forgetting stuff. So here's what you got to do, okay? Instead of what you're calling it, instead of calling it a chatbot, did you know that you could set up a chatbot? You have to say, did you know? And this is once again the next best thing, right? But we'll test it. We'll try it out. We'll see how it works. This is the next best thing. I said automating, and I was like, you know what, I was like, you can automate, and people were like, oh, we don't want to automate stuff because we want to be able to individually respond to these things. No one can, be as good as individually, as me, or they don't like the idea of automating stuff. However, what you can do is what you can say is you can actually personalize and create an interactive and engaging, or you can actually, I think this is even a better way. You can create a personalized, interactive and engaging experience for them to get all their questions answered, and then all of the special requests and all of the messages will get directed to you as well. So I think that's even a little bit much, but that's the concept that's the way that I want to go. I want to talk about how it's going to personalize it. I want to talk about how it's going to be interactive, and I want to talk about how it's going to be engaging. And so I think that's really, really the hooks that I'm going to be using as opposed to automating. So that's important as well. So Cody, Jodine, what's going on? We're talking about how to get chatbot clients directly from your newsfeed and how you can message them and what you can say. Last thing is the cold outreach. so let's talk about cold outreach, and this is what I'm going to wrap up with. Okay, if you guys have questions, now's your time to throw it down there, because we got client work to do. So I want to answer questions, guys. I want this to be a question and answer type thing, because that's when we get the best. You get the most value. However, otherwise I'm just up here rambling, and I hate that. So let's go back. Where are we? All right. So guys, last thing is cold outreach. So Jodine says, how do I feel about giving them an opt-out option? And Jodine, I'm curious about what you are, on your, are you talking about on Chatbots specifically, or on email campaigns, or what are you asking about? On Chatbots, I think that Chatbots, you should always have an email. You should always have an opt-out, right? Just like if you're doing emails, you should have some sort of way for them to unsubscribe, or like for example, they should only be on a limited list, right? Like you shouldn't just put people on a campaign that's going to go forever, that you're just going to keep having people get messaged with you, periodically, without them having an unsubscribe. And so for us, like I'll give you full transparency. For us, we don't use a lot of we don't use unsubscribe, or we don't have an unsubscribe button on ours. But we also make it very easy, and ours is like super non-promotional. It's like, hey, do you want like did you hear about this, or like were you interested in something? Like there's no links, there's no anything like that. And we also only send them 4 messages. Like that's it. And it's like if they respond, awesome. If not, we put them in a bucket that we're going to come back to like months later. But they're not going to just get, like, they're going to get 4 messages from us. And if they don't respond within those 4, it's like, all right, we're going to move on with our lives, at least for the time being, right? And so that's what I would say about that, is always giving people a way to opt out, I find is so valuable, because why do you want to talk to people who don't want to talk to you, right? And so we, as much as we can, try to listen and give, and we try and listen, right? And opt out people as much as we can, within that 4 email sequence. But usually people, like, there's a few, like 1 or 2 or 3 out of 100 that will like say stop or please remove me. But most people, they just look at it as like, oh, I got an email, and if you stop, we don't continue to pester them forever. So anyways, that's what I'd say about that, Jodine. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Jodine says, actually for a chatbot. So specifically for chatbots, then let's talk about that. I always like unless it's something that they ask for, like let's say I'm sending them a webinar registration, right? Let's say that's actually, we're going to be doing a live webinar on Friday. So I don't even like calling them webinars, because it's like, ew, there's going to be some pitch. And it's like, will I share our accelerator program at the end? Yeah, probably, because there's going to be people who just sat through an hour training and learned a bunch of shit and are now like, well, how do I implement this? And that's what the accelerator program is for. But better way to call it a training. Anyways, if you were to if someone was to request that, right? Like here's what we're going to do. We're going to send out a message and say, hey, we're having a live training on Friday, and we're going to teach you our software sales system. We're going to teach you how to use a series of softwares to automate all of these things, so that you are only talking to people who are actually interested in paying you money, right? That's what we're going to show you how to do. If you want to register for that, click this button, whatever. Now, when I send them that webinar like link, or when I send them that training link, I'm not going to have an unsubscribe button. However, when I send them that message, right, I've got, I don't know, almost 1,000 people on the chatbot that are subscribed to it. On that message where I say, hey, do you want, to get, the training link, I'm going to have an unsubscribe link on there. And the reason is because I don't want to be bothering people who don't want to be bothered by me. And that's because I'm playing on Uncle Zuckerberg's like playground. And that's the reality, is that like it's his rules. Like whether we like it or not, right now we're deciding to leverage and utilize the tools that he's given us, right? Oftentimes for free. So that's why it's like stop bitching. It's like build it and then take something, you know, and build it for yourself, right? And get, you know, capture some of it in a way that you can capture it. But the point is that we have to play by his rules if we're going to play on his playground. Now, are there ways to get, you know, past, you know, the gym teacher? Like, sure, like there's always some stuff that goes on. But the reality is that we have to be able to play with, we have to be able to play by his rules. So that's huge. Reddy says timing is bad, so I can go back later to the messenger bot when I want to watch videos or something. So interesting. So Brady says the timing is bad, and I think that is one thing that some platforms have nailed down really well is the ability to, you know, limit when certain things are sent. So what's also really important is that these tools are going to be continuing to grow, and so staying on the cutting edge of, you know, some platforms can do and you know, can be super mindful of when they're sending messages. Other platforms, it makes it really hard, you know, to accommodate every single person. And I think it's really, really important to be mindful of when things are getting sent out. And I think that's huge, right? I think that's huge. All right, guys, you guys have any questions, throw them down there. Otherwise, I'm out of rambles. I'm almost at I'm way past the 15-minute mark. And if you guys want access to the Agency Accelerator, okay, it's 7 days of training. I'm actually recording new videos today. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm even in the shower to record the videos. Isn't that crazy? Should I keep the video? If I'm not doing a live stream, if they're recorded videos, should I keep the panda hat on? What do you think? Panda hat? No panda hat. I don't know. Maybe I won't shower. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna record some videos for you, and we're gonna get into specifically not only the softwares, but then how to pair them with the sales strategies and the exact steps that our agency used to 5x our agency in literally a month. We were able to do that. We were able to it was really a testament to a lots of different systems going, and we can only do it if we actually leverage softwares and we leverage the tools to be able to do it. That's huge. That's huge. John says smart people need to be interested, need to be doing what they do. So it is something I'm interested, but then they want you to click to watch videos or sign up, and I'm busy and I'll watch or something. I see. So Brenny is talking about chatbots making it really easy to go back and watch previous videos. So I think that that's really, really, you know, important for us. You know, Brenny, as you're talking about it, I think I'm gonna write it down. See, I've got to write it down. I'm gonna put it in my Trello. I'm gonna put it over here, and what we're going to do is we have our YouTube. We have our YouTube like videos. All of my videos are up on YouTube, so you guys can, if you guys are subscribed to the Millennial Skills,